There's a strange moment that happens in a lot of people's lives, and most of them don't notice it until way later. It's not the moment they get betrayed. It's not the moment they get ignored. It's not even the moment they get used. It's the moment people stop looking at them like a person with weight and start looking at them like a person they can get away with things around. And for a lot of people, that moment begins when they become too kind. Not kind in the healthy sense, not kind with self-respect, not kind with boundaries. I'm talking about that other kind. The kind that apologizes too quickly. The kind that keeps understanding everyone, even when no one is trying to understand them. The kind that keeps giving people one more chance and then another, and then one more after that. The kind that confuses being needed with being valued. That kind of kindness has a cost. And the worst part is, you usually don't pay for it all at once. You pay for it slowly. You pay for it when people start interrupting you more. When they speak to you with a tone they'd never use on someone they actually fear losing. When they cancel on you casually. When they ask for favors like they're entitled to your energy. When they only remember your name when they need patience, help, forgiveness, or silence. And because you're trying to be a good person, you tell yourself a story about it. Maybe they're just stressed. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe I should be mature about this. Maybe I shouldn't take it personally. So you swallow it again and again and again until one day you realize something ugly. The people around you are very comfortable benefiting from your softness, but deeply uncomfortable offering you the same care back. That realization changes something in you, because at first you thought kindness would make people love you. Then you thought it would make people trust you. Then you thought at the very least it would make people respect you. But life has a cruel way of teaching a different lesson. People don't always respect what is good. A lot of them just test what is available. That's the truth nobody likes saying out loud. Some people don't see kindness and think, that's a strong person with a good heart. They see kindness and think, how far can I push this before they finally do something? And that question, it ruins a lot of lives. Because the too kind person almost never snaps at the first insult. They don't walk away at the first betrayal. They don't correct people the first time they're dismissed. They endure. They tolerate. They explain away things that should have been confronted the first time. And slowly, their silence starts educating people. That's what most people don't understand. Your behavior trains people how to treat you. Not your intentions, not your heart, not your hidden pain, your behavior. You can have the purest heart in the room, but if your behavior keeps telling people, you can disrespect me and I'll still stay, then eventually that becomes the rule. Not because everyone around you is evil. Some are, but not all of them. A lot of people are just lazy with empathy. They will take the path with the least resistance. And if you make disrespect easy for them, they will get comfortable with it. I've seen this happen in friendships. One person is always the one checking in first. Always the one understanding. Always the one saying, it's okay, no worries. Always the one adjusting. And the other person starts acting like that care is just part of the furniture. Always there, always available. No need to protect it. No need to appreciate it. No need to earn it. Then one day the kind person gets tired. They pull back just a little. They stop overextending. And suddenly the other person acts shocked. They say things like, you've changed. Or, why are you being distant? Or my favorite, I miss the old you. What they usually mean is, I miss the version of you that made my life easier while making your own heavier. That's what hurts. Not just the disrespect, the clarity to see that some people didn't love your heart. They loved your convenience. And once you see that clearly, it gets hard to unsee. The same thing happens in families, at work, in relationships, especially in relationships. There are people out there who will admire your kindness in the beginning because it feels safe. You listen, you care, you don't make everything a fight. You try to understand, you want peace. But if you don't know how to say no, if you don't know how to say, that crossed a line, if you don't know how to walk away when someone keeps taking pieces off you, then peace turns into permission. And some people are only gentle with those who make consequences feel real. That sounds cold, but look around. It's true. A lot of people suddenly discover respect the moment access is threatened. The moment they realize you're not endlessly available. The moment they understand that your presence is not guaranteed. Funny, isn't it? When you were soft, they were careless. When you were patient, they were casual. When you were forgiving, they were reckless. But the second you become still, distant, and done, now they want to talk. Now they want to explain. Now they want to fix it. Now they want to say they didn't know. Sometimes they really didn't know. But sometimes they knew exactly what they were doing. They just didn't think you'd ever stop allowing it. That's the part people struggle with when they start changing. Because when you've been too kind for too long, setting boundaries feels like becoming cruel. You say no once and feel guilty for hours. You stop answering immediately and wonder if you're being rude. You pull your energy back from people who drain you and somehow feel like you're the problem. Why? Because you trained yourself to feel responsible for everyone else's comfort. And once that becomes your identity, any act of self-protection feels like betrayal. But it's not betrayal. It's correction. It's the correction of a pattern that was slowly teaching the world to ignore your limits. That correction doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's small. Sometimes it's not explaining yourself so much. Sometimes it's not answering every message the second it arrives. Sometimes it's letting someone be disappointed in you. Sometimes it's refusing to save a relationship that only survives on your effort. Sometimes it's hearing disrespect once and deciding that one time was enough. That last one matters, because too kind people often wait for a pattern. They need 5 red flags, 7 excuses, and 1 final disaster before they finally admit something is broken. But people with self-respect don't need 1,000 examples. Sometimes one is enough. One moment of clear disrespect. One moment of being taken for granted. One moment where the truth shows itself. And then they act accordingly. That doesn't make them heartless. It makes them aware. There's a big difference between being kind and being harmless. A lot of people were raised to think those two things are the same. They were taught that being good means being endlessly accommodating, that being mature means never reacting, that being loving means absorbing pain quietly, that keeping the peace is more important than keeping your dignity. But a person who cannot defend their peace will eventually lose it. A person who cannot protect their dignity will eventually watch it get negotiated away in small pieces. And it never happens in one giant dramatic scene. That's why it's dangerous. It happens in everyday moments, in the joke that went too far and you laughed off, in the favor you didn't want to do but agreed to anyway, in the phone call you picked up even though you were exhausted, in the apology you accepted even though nothing changed, in the relationship where you kept trying to prove your worth to someone who only showed up when it benefited them. Little moments, little compromises, little self-abandonments. That's how people lose themselves. Not through one huge collapse, through repetition. That's why the change has to be intentional. You have to start noticing where your kindness is honest and where it's fear wearing a good mask. That question will tell you a lot. Are you helping because you genuinely want to? Or because you're afraid of being disliked? Are you being patient because the situation deserves patience? Or because confrontation terrifies you? Are you forgiving because you've healed? Or because you're scared of losing people, even the ones who keep hurting you? Some of the things we call kindness are not kindness at all. They're survival habits. They were built in older versions of us, versions that learned it was safer to be agreeable than honest, safer to be useful than real, safer to be easy to keep around than hard to replace. Maybe you learned that in childhood, maybe in school, maybe in love, maybe from being the one who always had to be the bigger person. But if you live long enough like that, you start shrinking. And one day you look at your life and realize everybody has access to you, but almost nobody has reverence for you. That's a painful place to wake up in, because you can't even fully blame people. Some of them were just responding to the version of you that kept saying yes to everything and calling it love. Still, that pain can teach you something valuable. It can teach you that respect is not built only by how much you give. It's also built by what you refuse to laugh off, what you refuse to tolerate, what you refuse to explain away, what you refuse to keep carrying. That's where your shape comes back. And once it does, your life changes in subtle ways. People start choosing their words more carefully. Not everyone. Some will leave. Let them. Some relationships were only standing because you were kneeling in them. Of course, they fall when you stand up. Some people will call you cold when you stop being easy to drain. Some will say you've become different. They're right. You have. You became someone who finally understands that kindness, without standards, becomes self-destruction. That's not bitterness. That's wisdom earned the hard way. And the truth is, you do not need to become cruel. You do not need to become emotionless. You do not need to walk around trying to intimidate everyone. That's not the lesson. The lesson is simpler than that. Be kind, but let people feel the edge of your limits. Be generous, but not at the cost of your self-respect. Be understanding, but don't make understanding your excuse for staying in unhealthy places. Be calm, but not so calm that people think you'll never leave. Real strength is quiet. It doesn't beg. It doesn't chase. It doesn't scream every time it's tested. It just knows where the line is. And once that line is crossed, it moves differently. That's what changes everything. Because people can sense when you finally stopped negotiating against yourself. They can feel it in your silence, in your slower responses, in your refusal to over-explain, in the way you no longer rush to repair what you didn't break, in the way your kindness is still there, but no longer available to everyone at full price. That kind of change makes some people uncomfortable. Good. Let them be uncomfortable. They were comfortable when you were overgiving, underprotected, and slowly disappearing. Their discomfort now might just be the sign that balance is returning. And balance matters. Because a good heart without a strong spine gets exhausted. A loving soul without boundaries gets used. A patient person without standards becomes a shelter for people who never intend to heal. You are not made to become a waiting room for broken behavior. You are not made to keep proving your worth by enduring what should have ended. You are not made to earn love through tolerance. The people who truly respect you will not require your self-erasure. They won't need you to become smaller so they can feel bigger. They won't punish you for having limits. They won't act confused when you ask for basic decency. And if someone only values you when you are endlessly forgiving, endlessly available, endlessly soft, with no boundaries, that's not respect. That's access. There's a difference. And learning that difference can save years of your life. So if you've been feeling that quiet resentment building in you lately, pay attention to it. Not all resentment is useless. Sometimes it's the soul's way of saying, something here has gone too far. Listen to that. If you've been feeling drained around people you once would have done anything for, listen to that too. If your body gets tired every time a certain name appears on your phone, if you keep dreading conversations that are supposed to feel loving, if you find yourself constantly recovering from interactions that should not require recovery, that tells you something. Not everything painful needs more patience. Some things need distance. Not every relationship needs one more conversation. Some need less access. Not every act of kindness is noble.